Have you ever seen someone driving an old beat-up car or wearing clothes that look like they came from a thrift store and thought to yourself, man, that person must be broke as hell? Well, surprise, because you might be shocked to find out that some seriously wealthy people actually choose to live that simple, low-key lifestyle on purpose. Hello and welcome back to Wealth. Today we're diving into a topic that might seem a little counterintuitive at first glance. Why do some of the wealthiest people in the world often look, well, not so wealthy? We're talking about billionaires and multimillionaires who could afford to drip in designer threads and flashy watches, but instead opt for a more low-key, unassuming style. Now we know what you might be thinking, but isn't the whole point of being rich to flaunt it and live that luxurious life? Well, not necessarily. You see, there's a certain art to being truly wealthy. And sometimes that means flying under the radar and keeping a low profile. So whether you're just a curious observer, or someone with aspirations of joining the ranks of the rich and fabulous one day, stick around. We're about to reveal the 7 surprising reasons why the ultra-wealthy often dress down and blend in with the masses. Trust us, it's not just about being frugal. Number 1. The power of stealth wealth. You know, there's an old saying that goes, money talks, wealth whispers. And that's exactly the philosophy behind stealth wealth. We're talking about the ultra-rich who prefer to keep their riches on the down low, flying under the radar and avoiding unnecessary attention. Think about it, when you're rolling in dough, the last thing you want is to become a target for scammers, con artists, or worse, kidnappers. By dressing down and living modestly, the wealthy can go about their daily lives without drawing too much attention to their bank accounts. It's like having a secret identity, but instead of a superhero costume, they rock a pair of well-worn jeans and a simple t-shirt. But it's not just about safety. There's also a sense of humility and grounding that comes with stealth wealth. Number 2. The power of frugality. Next, let's talk about one of the biggest reasons why the rich look poor: frugality. You see, the road to building wealth is paved with smart spending habits and a keen eye for value. We're not talking about being cheap, we're talking about being conscious of where every dollar goes and making sure it's working hard for you. Now think about it, you're driving your car until the wheels fall off, clipping coupons, and scrutinizing every expense with a fine-tooth comb. That's the kind of financial discipline and commitment to building lasting wealth that the wealthy embrace. They're not afraid to buy generic brands, shop at thrift stores, or haggle for the best deals. It's all part of their frugal mindset. They understand that true wealth lies in experiences, relationships, and personal growth, not in the latest designer handbag or sports car. And let's not forget the power of compounding interest. Every penny saved is a penny that can be invested and turned into even more wealth down the line. The rich know that money doesn't grow on trees, and even if you have a whole forest of cash, it's essential to cultivate it carefully. Number 3. The luxury of simplicity. Alright, let's talk about something that might surprise you. The rich often embrace a simplified lifestyle, and it's not just because they're trying to save a few bucks. We're talking about the luxury of simplicity, my friends. Can you imagine the stress of maintaining a sprawling mansion, a fleet of fancy cars, and a closet full of designer threads? When you've made it to the top of the financial food chain, you quickly realize that material possessions can be a burden. Who needs all that stress when you're supposed to be enjoying the fruits of your labor? That's why the wealthy often opt for a more streamlined approach to life. They understand that true luxury lies in having the freedom to focus on what truly matters: their passions, their relationships, and their personal growth. They've embraced the idea of minimalism, not because they can't afford more, but because they've realized that less is often more. Number 4. The power of anonymity. Okay, let's talk about one of the biggest perks of looking poor when you're rich: anonymity. You see, when you're rolling in dough, sometimes the last thing you want is to be recognized and hounded by everyone and their mother. By blending in and keeping a low profile, the rich can move about their daily lives without drawing unnecessary attention to themselves or their bank accounts. We're talking about people who understand that true wealth isn't measured by the flashiness of your possessions, but by the quality of your life and the freedom to live it on your own terms. They've learned that anonymity is a luxury that money cannot always buy, and they're more than happy to embrace it. Number 5. The power of humility. Alright, let's talk about something that might surprise you. One of the reasons why the rich look poor is because of humility. You see, when you've made it to the top of the financial food chain, it's easy to get caught up in the trappings of wealth and start acting like you're better than everyone else. But the truly wealthy understand that money doesn't make you superior. It just gives you more resources and opportunities. They've learned that true success is measured not by the size of your bank account, but by the impact you have on the world around you and the way you treat others. They understand that flaunting their wealth is not only tacky, but also can create unnecessary barriers between themselves and others. But it's not just about appearances. It's about having a genuine sense of humility and gratitude for the blessings they've been given. The rich understand that their wealth is not solely the result of their own efforts, but also a combination of hard work, determination, and a healthy dose of luck and opportunity. Number 6. The power of focus. Alright, let's talk about another reason why the rich often look poor. Focus. You see, when you've made it to the top of the financial food chain, it's easy to get distracted by all the shiny objects and luxuries that money can buy. But the truly wealthy understand that true success isn't about accumulating material possessions. It's about pursuing your passions, achieving your goals, and making a meaningful impact on the world around you. The rich have learned to resist the temptation of keeping up with the Joneses, and instead focus on cultivating a life of financial discipline, smart investing, and intentional living. Number 7. The power of legacy. Alright, let's talk about one of the most profound reasons why the rich often look poor. The power of legacy. You see, when you've made it to the top of the financial food chain, it's easy to get caught up in the trappings of wealth and start living a life of excess and indulgence. But the truly wealthy understand that true success isn't measured by the size of your bank account or the number of material possessions you've accumulated. It's about the impact you've had on the world around you and the legacy you leave behind. Plus, the rich understand that true wealth isn't measured by the size of your bank account, but by the positive change you've created and the lives you've touched along the way. And by living a modest and humble lifestyle, they're setting an example for others to follow of what it truly means to be successful and to use one's resources for the greater good. Well, that's all for today. Let us know in the comments below which of these reasons most surprised you. And what do you think about this phenomenon overall? Are the rich just being smart by blending in? Or should they feel free to flaunt their fortunes however they please?